Welcome back, YouTube people, to another behind the scenes vlog. This one was actually a really fun shoot. We tried to do as much as we could while also staying simple, and that's kind of the theme that I want to talk about in this vlog, is not always having to go crazy high end, crazy over the top. Sometimes you can just stay a little more simple, and it's okay. You know, we see all of these crazy setups that people have on YouTube and Instagram and whatnot, and we think, oh my gosh, we have to do crazy setups. But in reality, this one was a simple setup. We started by putting a 600D outside so that we could kind of fake the sunlight. That's something that I've been wanting to start doing more often, is incorporating fake sunlight or some kind of background light. And so the 600D is really great because it kind of just adds a little pop of light to the background, makes it a little more interesting, especially in this one. The house was beautiful, but the background just kind of fell by the wayside, and I didn't want that. So I just kind of added a nice little streak pop of light. And so we used the Aperture 600D because it's so powerful, and we were able to kind of really dial in the intensity and the look. So that was pretty awesome. And then by way of audio, we actually ran two sets of wireless mics. We have this Comica set that I had on the Realtor. We didn't want to run a boom mic mainly because I didn't have two boom mics and we were working with 3 people. And again, simple setups. So we just ran wireless mics on them. I didn't even try to hide them this time like I normally do, just because again, I wanted to go simple and we were just trying to get these shot. And we also used a set of the DJI mic minis, which are my absolute favorite wireless microphones. This were on the couple. We just magneted it to them on their clothing, and it was able to capture their audio really well, and it gives a good audio quality. So if you're looking for a good set of wireless mics, I'll link these below. But here is the breakdown. We've got 3 Blackmagic cameras. We are running the Blackmagic Pocket 4K as a tight on the Realtor. We've got the Blackmagic 6K Pro as our wide shot here. And then we've also got another Blackmagic Pocket 4K as a tight shot on the couple. The one with the tight shot on the couple has a 24-105. The one on the Realtor has a 24-70, and the 6K Pro has an 18-35. And for lighting, we are doing a very simple one light setup for the key, and that is the Nanlite FS300B with a newer softbox. I should have put the 600D here because we actually did need a little bit more output, but it worked and I have made it work. And then, like I said, we had the 600D here, and it actually, funny enough, didn't overheat or anything, even though it was blasted by the sun, and it was at like 70%. All right, so here we are sitting down. We've got 2 lights today. Normally I would have run multiple lights, hair light, but the space, we were going really wide with the shot and it wasn't going to work out very well. So the first light we have here is the Nanlite FS300B, which is the key light with a lantern on it, and that is at literally 100%, and it's also at 4,000 Kelvin because the couch was nice and like cream colored, but if you had it too much daylight, it just wasn't ideal. So liked that there. And then in the background we have the Aperture 600D, so you can see when you turn it on, when you turn it off, like it just adds a little bit of kind of shape to the background, and that way it helps kind of add a little bit more. So yeah, we've got 6K Pro here as the main camera. We've got a Blackmagic Pocket 4K with a 24-105, and then we've got the Blackmagic Pocket 4K on him, or the Realtor, with a 24-70. Both of them have variable NDs on, and then the 6K Pro has the built-in NDs. And then we're running the Comica wireless mic for the Realtor, and then we're running the DJI mic minis for the couple for the audio. Normally I'd run a boom mic, but because we had 3 people, I didn't want to have to run 2 boom mics and everything. We're just trying to go for a more simple setup, but we're here in their living room, which is really cool, really beautiful little living room area. So yeah, really overall good shoot. I went with the lantern mainly because I wanted to just spill light everywhere. We weren't trying to go cinematic or like, you know, anything crazy. We were just trying to get light. And normally I would like to use a 600 here, and in hindsight, probably should have, but we wanted the 600 outside. I thought we were gonna be at 100%, but we were not. So we could have used a 300, but it is what it is. Now you may be asking yourself, why do I say simple is okay? The reason being is sometimes you just need to make sure everything looks decent and you don't have the time to really dial in everything. I didn't have a lot of time here. I had about 30 to 45 minutes to set up everything, and I had no assistant. I brought my friend Brandon and my assistant normally, Brandon, but I had him on BTS today, and I knew that I could do these kinds of shoots on my own. But again, I needed to go simple. We had a shoot after this, and so we needed to be able to set up and break down in a good amount of time. And this was just a simple talking head with the realtor. I mean, it wasn't anything crazy. It wasn't anything special. All it was is, hey, we've worked with this realtor. We like this realtor. We're giving a testimonial for this realtor, and that's what we're doing. So yes, I would have loved to have brought in flags and, you know, reflectors and all these different things. I wanted to run hair lights on each of them, and I wanted to do all this stuff, but the time didn't permit. I didn't want to make them wait too long. I didn't want to make them sit around too long, but I also had to be able to tear down quickly and get to the next shoot later that day. So this looked good. It will do the job. It will do the trick. So that's something that I really wanted to talk about today, was sometimes you just need to be okay with doing simple.
Yeah, I saw the post on Instagram of the, is it a duplex?
It was,
in
yeah.
Deep Ellum.
And keep the closing costs down. So we used a little bit of strategy when we decided to offer more to be able to say, hey, well, we know we want a concession back. So how can we sweeten this deal where it's a win?
And I know it's kind of hard in our industry because everybody's doing these crazy awesome setups, and you see people with like this Instagram or YouTube clout almost. But in reality, that is a very small portion of what we do. And because this was just a quick testimonial, all I wanted to do was something simple. And you may see the 3 Blackmagics and think, oh my gosh, simple, but he has 3 cameras. This was just so that I could have ample coverage on each of the people. It's kind of a podcast style type interview testimonial. That's what we ended up with. But I'll get into why I use Blackmagic cameras in another video. For now, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.